She thinks she's so smart, almost feel bad for her. That was the last thing he wrote in his divorce journal. Too bad I was smarter. 3 days ago, I overheard my husband plotting to destroy my life. Now I'm planning to destroy his instead. I'm Maya, 32, software engineer who just got promoted to senior director with major stock options. My husband Marcus and I have been married 4 years. His family always hated me for my humble background, but their attitude changed when my career took off. Suddenly, they were asking about my company policies and stock options. I thought they'd finally accepted me. Last Tuesday, I was preparing for my promotion celebration when I heard Marcus on a secretive phone call downstairs. I crept to the stairs and listened to him talking to his mother Linda and sister Jessica. She signed the papers this morning. The promotion is official, Marcus said in a cold voice I'd never heard before. We need to move fast before those stock options vest. My blood went cold. Jessica's already photographed everything in the safe, he continued. The deed to her grandmother's house, the savings account statements, her sister's medical school documents. We have copies of everything. Jessica had been in my house, photographing my private papers while I was at work. The safe upstairs contained everything important to me, documents I thought were secure in my own home. The lawyer said if we file within the next month, we can claim she was hiding assets during the marriage, Marcus said. And with the joint accounts we opened, we can show she planned to leave me financially stranded. Joint accounts? I'd never agreed to any joint accounts beyond our basic checking. Linda's voice came through the speakerphone. Marcus, play the loving husband until after this weekend. Take pictures at her party, post them on social media. We need to show you were supportive until she betrayed the marriage. What about the affair angle? Jessica asked. I'm handling that, Linda replied. Rebecca's been very cooperative. Her father's business partnership with me depends on it. They were planning to frame me for infidelity and steal everything I'd worked for. Everything my grandmother left me, everything I'd saved for my sister Sophia's medical school, and my dream of starting a company. The worst part was hearing Marcus laugh. 4 years of pretending to give a shit about her sad family story. 4 years of listening to her talk about her dead parents and precious sister. But it's about to pay off big time. I sat there for 20 minutes, listening to them plan my destruction with casual efficiency. They had lawyers, forged documents, had been monitoring my communications and photographing my belongings for months. When Marcus came upstairs later, he kissed my forehead and told me how proud he was of my promotion, how much he loved me, how excited he was for our future together. I smiled and kissed him back and started planning my own strategy. My parents died when I was 23, leaving me to raise my younger sister while working my way up in tech. Every penny I've saved, every extra hour I've worked, has been building toward something better for both of us. I've supported Marcus through his failed business ventures, believed in him when his own family doubted him. But now I know the truth. He's been playing the long game, waiting for me to succeed so he could take everything. So Reddit, when someone spends months plotting to destroy your life and steal everything you've worked for, what exactly do you owe them in return? Because I've got 3 days until my promotion party, and this celebration is going to be very different than what the Thompson family is expecting. They think they're about to win big. They have no idea what's coming. Update soon. This is just the beginning. Update 1. Holy shit, Reddit. The response to my original post was incredible. Thank you for all the advice, the legal resources, and honestly, for helping me realize I wasn't crazy. Some of you asked for more background on how I got into this mess, so here it is. I met Marcus 5 years ago at a networking event. I was a junior developer then, barely making ends meet while putting Sophia through her pre-med program. Marcus had just stepped back from his third failed startup, a food delivery app that never launched, a dropshipping business that lost money, and some cryptocurrency venture that I still don't understand. But he was charming. He talked about his vision for the future, how he was taking time to find his true calling. He seemed genuinely interested in my work, asked thoughtful questions about my projects. When I told him about losing my parents and supporting Sophia, he held my hand and said he admired my strength. The Thompson family was a different story. Linda made it clear from our first meeting that I wasn't what she'd envisioned for her son. Marcus has always been drawn to ambitious women, she said, like ambition was a disease. Jessica would roll her eyes whenever I talked about work, making comments about how, some people think career success equals personal worth. But everything changed about 2 years ago when I got promoted to team lead and my salary jumped significantly. Suddenly, Linda was asking about my company's growth plans. Jessica wanted to know about our stock option program. Marcus started paying attention when I mentioned client meetings and project budgets. You know, Maya's company is really taking off, Linda would tell people at family gatherings. She's becoming quite successful. The pride in her voice felt so genuine that I actually started believing they'd accepted me. What a fucking idiot I was. After overhearing that phone call last week, I knew I needed to act fast but smart. I called in sick Wednesday and Thursday, telling Marcus I was dealing with promotion stress. Instead, I was gathering evidence and building my defense. First stop, David Chen, a divorce attorney my colleague recommended. David's office felt like a war room, all dark wood and serious faces. When I told him what I'd overheard, he leaned back in his chair. "How long have you been married?" he asked. 4 years. "Any prenup?" "No." Marcus said prenups showed lack of trust. Another red flag I'd missed. David pulled out a legal pad. "Tell me about your assets. Everything." The list was longer than I'd realized. The house I inherited from my grandmother, worth about $400K now. My savings account with $180K money I'd been setting aside to start my own consulting firm. The new stock options worth potentially $300K over the next 3 years. My $401K, my car, even some jewelry my mother left me. "And your husband's assets?" David asked. I laughed, but it wasn't funny. "He's got maybe $8K in checking and a car that's falling apart. He hasn't had steady income in 2 years. David's expression darkened. "Maya, in California, he'd be entitled to half of everything acquired during the marriage. If they can prove you were hiding assets or planning to leave, they could argue for even more." My stomach dropped. "But I earned all of this. I supported him while he found himself." "Doesn't matter legally. Marriage makes it community property." He leaned forward. "But if we can prove fraud, forgery, or conspiracy, that changes everything." I spent the next 2 days becoming a detective in my own life. I installed new security cameras, telling Marcus they were for home protection after some break-ins in the neighborhood. I changed all my passwords and set up alerts on every account. Most importantly, I started documenting everything. The joint accounts Marcus mentioned, I found them. 3 different accounts at banks I'd never been to, all with my forged signature. The handwriting was good, but not perfect. One account had $15K transferred from my savings money I thought had gone to Marcus's business expenses last month. I also found Jessica's fake Instagram profiles. At Maya Watcher 2023 and at Tech Wife Exposed, both following my public accounts and screenshotting my posts. She'd been building a timeline of my activities, probably to use against me later. But the most damaging discovery came Friday evening. I was going through Marcus's laptop while he was out, and I found a folder labeled Future Plans. Inside were screenshots of my work emails, photos of confidential project documents, and even recordings of phone calls I'd had with my team about upcoming product launches. Marcus had been collecting insider information about my company for months. Saturday morning, I called David with everything I'd found. "Maya, this isn't just divorce fraud anymore," he said. "This could be securities violations, identity theft, corporate espionage. We need to involve law enforcement." That afternoon, Sophia came over for our weekly dinner. My sister's always been sharp, but medical school has made her even more observant. She took one look at me and knew something was wrong. "Maya, you look like you haven't slept in days. What's going on?" I told her everything. Sophia listened without interrupting, her expression growing darker with each detail. When I finished, she was quiet for a long moment. "I never liked him," she finally said, "but I thought it was just protective sister stuff. This is so much worse than I imagined." "I feel so stupid, Sophia. 4 years of my life with someone who was planning to destroy me." "You're not stupid. You're trusting. There's a difference." She reached across the table and grabbed my hand. "But now you know, and now you fight back." That night, Marcus came home with flowers and takeout from my favorite restaurant. "I know you've been stressed about the promotion," he said, kissing my cheek. "I thought we could have a quiet evening together." We sat on the couch eating pad thai while he told me about his day, asked about my week, played the perfect supportive husband. Every word felt like poison in my ears. "I'm so proud of you, Maya," he said, stroking my hair. "You've worked so hard for this. You deserve everything good that's coming your way." I smiled and leaned into him while mentally reviewing the evidence I'd gathered. The forged signatures, the insider trading, the conspiracy with his family. Everything I needed to destroy him was sitting in a folder on my laptop upstairs. "I love you too," I told him. 2 more weeks until Thanksgiving dinner at Linda's house. 2 more weeks until they plan to spring their trap. They have no idea I'm setting one of my own. Next update, Operation Thanksgiving Surprise begins. Update 2, Reddit, I'm writing this from my lawyer's office at 11 p.m. on a Sunday night. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and tomorrow everything changes. I can barely keep my hands steady, but I need to get this all down before the shit hits the fan. The past 3 weeks have been the most intense of my life. After my last update, several of you messaged me with additional advice, legal resources, and honestly, the courage I needed to see this through. Special shout out to you, Lawyer Mom 2023, who connected me with a contact at the SEC that tip might have saved my entire case. Let me catch you up on what's been happening behind the scenes. First, the good news. David Chen is a fucking wizard. We've built an airtight case that goes way beyond simple divorce fraud. The forged bank account signatures, identity theft, the insider trading using my company information, securities violations, the conspiracy to frame me for adultery, civil fraud with potential criminal implications. But building the case meant I had to keep playing the loving wife while gathering evidence. Do you know how hard it is to smile and make small talk with someone who's planning to destroy your life? Every morning Marcus would kiss me goodbye, tell me he loved me, ask about my day. Every evening he'd massage my shoulders and talk about our future together. Meanwhile, I was secretly meeting with FBI agents. Yeah, you read that right. The FBI is now involved. It started 2 weeks ago when David introduced me to Agent Sarah Mitchell, a white-collar crime specialist. She reviewed all the evidence I'd gathered, the forged documents, the insider trading materials, Jessica's stalking profiles, Linda's recorded phone conversations. "Mrs. Rodriguez," Agent Mitchell said during our first meeting, "your husband and his family have committed multiple federal crimes. We're talking about wire fraud, securities violations, identity theft, and conspiracy charges." She explained that Marcus using my insider company information to make trades wasn't just unethical, it was a felony. The fake social media profiles Jessica created to stalk me constituted cyberstalking under federal law. Linda's involvement in coordinating everything made her the ringleader of a criminal conspiracy. "We want to build the strongest possible case," Agent Mitchell continued. "Would you be willing to wear a wire? That's how I spent the last 2 weeks of my marriage, secretly recording conversations with my husband and his family while federal agents monitored everything from a van parked down the street. The recordings we got were even more damaging than I'd hoped. Marcus talking to his day trader friend about inside information from my wife's company and bragging about making $30K in profits. Linda coaching Jessica on how to accidentally run into me at coffee shops to gather more personal information. Jessica admitting she'd been through my laptop multiple times, copying files to a USB drive. But the most devastating recording came last Tuesday. Marcus was on the phone with Rebecca, the woman they'd recruited to help frame me for adultery. I was supposed to be at work, but I'd come home early with a migraine and was upstairs listening through the wire. "Rebecca, you need to be more aggressive," Marcus said. "The timeline is tight. Maya's stock options vest in January, so we need to file for divorce by December 15th at the latest." "I've been texting her like we discussed," Rebecca replied, asking about meeting up, being flirty, "but she's not responding the way you thought she would." "That's because she's frigid," Marcus laughed. 4 years of marriage and she still thinks work is more important than romance. But we just need a few compromising photos, maybe a lunch meeting that looks intimate. What if she doesn't take the bait? Then we manufacture the evidence. Jessica's gotten good with Photoshop. They were planning to create fake evidence of an affair using manipulated photos. The FBI agents listening from their van probably had to restrain themselves from kicking down the door right then. Meanwhile, I was also dealing with the emotional fallout. Sophia has been incredible, coming over every few days to make sure I'm eating and sleeping. She's the only person who knows the full extent of what's happening, and watching her barely contain her rage at family dinners has been both heartbreaking and hilarious. "Marcus, how's your job search going?" she asked at dinner last Sunday with the sweetest smile. Still exploring opportunities, he replied. The market's tough right now. Sophia nodded thoughtfully. Maya's been working so hard to support both of you. It must be nice having a wife who's so financially successful. The look she gave him could have melted steel. Marcus just smiled and squeezed my hand. I'm the luckiest guy in the world, he said. I wanted to throw up. The hardest part has been the nights. Lying in bed next to someone who's planning to destroy you, feeling him put his arm around you, hearing him whisper, I love you in the dark. There were moments I almost broke, almost confronted him just to end the psychological torture. But David kept reminding me, Maya, every day you wait, we get stronger evidence. Every conversation you record, every document they create, every move they make, it all helps us destroy their case and build ours. Yesterday, Linda called to confirm Thanksgiving dinner plans. Maya dear, I'm so excited to celebrate your success with the family, she said in that fake sweet voice. Marcus tells me you've been working so hard, you deserve to relax and enjoy yourself. I'm looking forward to it too, Linda, I replied. It should be a very memorable Thanksgiving. If she only knew how memorable. Here's what's going to happen tomorrow. The Thompson family thinks they're gathering to execute their master plan. Linda's invited extended family and friends. She wants an audience for what she believes will be Marcus's moment of triumph. They've prepared their divorce papers, their fake evidence, their sob story about how I've been neglecting the marriage for my career. But I've prepared something too. Agent Mitchell will be positioned outside with backup. David will be there as my legal representation. I've prepared a presentation of all the evidence we've gathered, the forged documents, the recorded conversations, the insider trading profits, everything. Most importantly, I've already filed for divorce myself. The papers were served to Marcus this morning at 6 a.m., about 3 hours ago. He doesn't know yet he's been at his mother's house since yesterday, probably going over their final plans. By the time you read this update, it will all be over. The Thompson family will have learned that their victim was actually setting a trap of her own. Marcus will be facing federal charges. Linda will be dealing with conspiracy accusations. Jessica will be explaining her cyberstalking to investigators. And me, I'll finally be free. I know some of you think I should have just filed for divorce quietly, taken the financial hit, and moved on with my life. But they didn't just plan to steal my money, they planned to destroy my reputation, frame me for adultery, and paint me as a cold, career-obsessed wife who abandoned her marriage. They wanted to take everything from me. Instead, they're about to lose everything themselves. Sophia just texted me, ready for tomorrow, sis. I brought popcorn. Yeah, I'm ready. Final update coming after Thanksgiving dinner. Wish me luck, Reddit. Update 3. Posted 2 days after Thanksgiving. Reddit. I'm still shaking as I write this. What happened at Thanksgiving dinner was beyond anything I could have imagined, and I have it all on video thanks to Jessica's own Instagram livestream. I woke up Thursday morning to 17 missed calls from Marcus. The divorce papers had been served at 6 a.m. and he was losing his shit. His voicemail started confused. Maya, baby, what's going on? By number 10, he was angry. You fucking bitch, you can't do this. By 17, he was back to fake pleading. Maya, please, we can work this out. I drove to Linda's house with Agent Mitchell following and David Chen riding shotgun. My hands were steady now. After weeks of fear and rage, I felt calm. Today was Justice Day. Linda's house was packed with at least 20 people, Marcus's extended family and friends. She'd planned this as a public humiliation, wanting witnesses to see Marcus courageously leave his selfish, career-obsessed wife. Perfect. More witnesses for what was actually about to happen. Marcus met me at the door, desperate. Maya, we need to talk privately. Later, I said loudly. Let's enjoy dinner with your family first. Jessica was already live streaming on Instagram, narrating the beautiful family gathering to her followers. She had no idea she was about to broadcast her family's destruction to the internet. The first hour was surreal. I made small talk with relatives who'd barely acknowledged me for years, accepted congratulations on my promotion, listened to Linda's passive-aggressive comments. Marcus kept trying to pull me aside, getting more agitated as I deflected him. Around 4 p.m., Linda called everyone to dinner. The photographer positioned himself strategically. Jessica angled her phone to capture the whole table, still live streaming. Before we eat, Linda announced, standing with her wine glass, Marcus has something special he wants to share with everyone today. This was it. Marcus was supposed to announce our marriage was over, present their fabricated evidence, and paint himself as the victim. Marcus stood up slowly, pale and shaking. He looked at me, then at his mother, then at the expectant faces. "Actually," I said, standing up myself, "I have something to share first." The room went quiet. Linda's smile faltered. "Marcus, Linda, Jessica," I said, looking at each of them, "I know about your plan." Marcus dropped back into his chair. Linda's wine glass slipped, shattering on the floor. Jessica's phone wavered but kept recording. "I know about the forged bank accounts. I know about the insider trading. I know about the fake affair with Rebecca. I know about Jessica stalking me and photographing my documents." The room erupted. Linda stammered denials while cleaning up wine. Marcus just stared in horror. "Maya, you're clearly under stress from work," Linda tried. "I have recordings, Linda." I pulled out my phone and hit play. Marcus's voice filled the room. 4 years of pretending to give a shit about her sad little family story. But it's about to pay off big time. Deafening silence. Jessica's phone buzzed with live stream comments. "I also have evidence of securities fraud, identity theft, cyberstalking, and conspiracy." That's when David Chen walked in, followed by Agent Mitchell and 2 FBI agents. "Marcus Thompson, Linda Thompson, Jessica Thompson," Agent Mitchell announced, showing her badge. "You're under arrest." Chaos. Relatives shouting, photographer snapping pictures, Jessica still live-streaming as FBI agents arrested her entire family in real time. Marcus started sobbing. "Maya, please, my mother made me do it. I never wanted to hurt you." "You recorded my work calls, Marcus. You forged my signature. You planned to frame me for adultery." My voice was ice cold. "You told your family that listening to me talk about my dead parents was a burden." As they were led away in handcuffs, Marcus turned back. "Maya, I did love you. At the beginning, I really did." "No, Marcus," I replied. "You loved what I could give you. There's a difference." The aftermath was swift. Insider trading charges carry up to 20 years. The forged documents add identity theft. Linda's coordination makes her the ringleader, facing the harshest penalties. Jessica's livestream went viral. Thanksgiving arrests was trending by Friday morning. The video has been viewed over 2 million times. Yesterday, cleaning out Marcus's stuff, I found his divorce planning journal. The final entry, dated before Thanksgiving. "Maya has no idea what's coming. She thinks she's so smart, but she never saw this coming. I almost feel bad for her. Almost." I sent that page to David as evidence. This morning, my company's CEO called. The FBI investigation revealed Marcus had been selling our information to competitors. Instead of firing me, they're promoting me again and giving me a bonus for exposing corporate espionage. Rebecca, the woman they'd recruited for the fake affair, had been cooperating with the FBI for weeks. "I never would have gone through with it," she told me. "I felt sick about what they were asking." The house feels lighter now. I'm keeping everything I worked for: my grandmother's house, my savings, my stock options, my dignity. Marcus, Linda, and Jessica are awaiting trial. Their lawyer wants a plea deal, but prosecutors aren't interested. Next month, I'm starting my own consulting firm with Sophia. We're calling it Rodriguez Solutions and already have 3 clients. Do I feel guilty about destroying Marcus's life? Not even a little. He spent months planning to destroy mine, to steal everything, to frame me as unfaithful. Instead, he lost everything himself. That's not cruelty, that's justice. The Thompson family thought they were playing chess while I was playing checkers. Turns out I was playing 4D chess while they were eating the pieces. Final score: Maya 1, Thompson family 0, game over.